lusty, as the English would say.
Lusty puts a smile on your face, I'd say,
really
Joe.
does.
Yeah.
It really does. It's a proper car, right?
It's a proper car. That is the best way of putting it.
You know, horsepower cures a lot of problems. Whenever you're having a bad day, you just put your foot in it, and all your problems disappear.
Look at the smile on my face, I can't stop.
Welcome to that episode of Jay Leno's Garage, the car we're featuring today, TVR Tuscan S. This is an English-built sports car. You know, nobody builds limited production sports cars like the British. This is just a fabulous car. And the thing I love about it is that they develop their own engine. You know, a lot of times, especially in England, they'll take the 3.5 liter Rover V8 and put it in MGs, and okay, and they get a lot of power out of it and put turbos in it. But Peter Wheeler, who was in charge of TVR at the time, a whole new car top to bottom. It has an engine called the Speed 6, which to me is one of the sexiest names. I've always liked 6 cylinders, and the English do them great, whether it's the Jag or the Aston Martin. A lot of people just like a 6 because of the inherent smoothness. And this has that, the engine's canted over, I don't know how many degrees it is, we'll find out. And it makes, 370, something like that. We'll find out exactly what the horsepower is. Car is fiberglass. All right, let's meet the man from TVR Garage, responsible, Gavin Bristow. Gavin, come on in, my friend.
Hi, Jay.
Yeah, now we can bring these into America now because it's 25 years old, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, well, how many of these did they build?
About 1,600 or so.
Right,
so not that many.
And as I remember reading the road test in the period, people loved it. It was crazy. What was the problem?
I think when they went to production, they had a few issues on the engine side, but that was sorted out pretty quickly.
Right.
And especially when you're looking at an example like this, that's 25 years later.
Right.
Everything's been gone through. This particular example is fully restored with a brand new engine. So yeah, everything's in good spot.
Yeah, and boy, that's really the hard way to do it. But it's the right way to do it when you make your own engine, because you know, I was so disappointed in Aston Martin when they went with the Mercedes V8. And oh, really? But now they're back and they've got their own bespoke V12. And I'm excited about the brand again. Same thing with this. You know, when I heard they were building car, what engine? Their own. Okay. Because the Speed 6 is one of those names that has a lot of history in England. It goes back to W.O. Bentley, and that was the fast car, and very cool, or very nice. And how it's almost like the Slant 6 from America. How many degrees is it?
Yeah, the engine's canted over about 8 degrees, and it wasn't really for packaging or anything. It was more for oil drainage and control of the oil system in the engine. So. 3.5
liter or 3 liter?
This is a 4 liter.
A 4 liter?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what's the exact horsepower?
So this one's 390.
390?
With 310 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, so it's pretty strong.
And it doesn't weigh anything, does it? It's pretty light.
No, these cars are 2,300 pounds, so it's
really
pretty light, yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, very exciting. And transmission is what, 5-speed?
Yeah, 5-speed manual. It's the Borg Warner T5, which is also now Tremec these days. But,
yeah. Well, that's a bulletproof transmission.
Absolutely.
That's very good. So how many are you going to be bringing in? Any idea?
There's only 3 in the country, as we're aware of at this point. They're slowly trickling in as interest is growing in the TVRs of that era that are now available. So yeah, we want to keep them low volume, and to produce one at this level, obviously it takes time to go through the process of restoration.
And what is the era for these? Is it 96 to about 2003, 4, something like that?
Yeah, the very late 99, and then all the way through to the mid 2000s. Yeah.
Oh, the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a Mark 1, and there was a Mark 2 version as well, which was slightly different styling and some different features.
And that 25-year is a rolling one, so you can bring in a later one as a...
Exactly, yeah. We're quite fortunate as with all of those cars from the mid-90s were not available in the States.
Right.
We're constantly now seeing more different vehicles becoming available for us to bring over.
Does this hardtop come off?
It does, yeah.
Oh, it does? Okay, very nice. Yeah, very nice. And it's obviously only in the right-hand drive.
Yeah, they did a few left-hand drives.
Oh, they did?
But very, very few and far between.
Yeah.
We've been looking to try to fire a very good left-hand drive, but nothing so far.
How hard is it to convert?
Not too bad. They weren't really engineered specifically to be left-hand drive and right-hand drive at the time, so you do have to do a fair amount of modification to get it to left-hand drive. But nothing's impossible.
Can we open the hood? Let's take a look at the motor here and see what we got.
Yeah, sure. let's go forwards, Mike, as well.
Well, we got the hood off, which it's a bit of a process.
Right.
But not terrible. I only took 2 minutes or so. Boy, it's a great looking motor. I love this engine. And this is it. I haven't seen this in years, since the Lamborghinis of the 60s, where they clip to hold on. The air
airbox.
intake is under here, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so your filter's under there, it clips on. Okay, how, 2 valve, 4 valve?
4 valve per cylinder.
4 valve per cylinder, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Twin cam?
Yes, twin cam. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's got the provenance, doesn't it, there? And they designed this motor in-house, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Al Melling was one of the lead people behind the design of the engine, and some of the core characteristics are actually based on a Suzuki GSX motorbike engine to begin
interesting.
with. That was some of the design philosophy that went into it. It's one of the reasons why the cylinder head is so wide.
Yeah.
Because it has finger followers for the camshafts.
And that's 90% of your development cost, is just doing that. You could have put a Rover in this, and most people thought, well, it still looks cool, looks designed. But I mean, you did it the right way, which I love, because when you have a bespoke motor, it just makes it really personalizes the car.
Right.
And to go with a 6, I love that too. The fact, just something a bit more traditional than just another. It's like when I see a hot rod, it's got the LS Chevy engine. Okay, and the automatic transmission. You know, I just love, this is what really makes this car to me, because I just thought it was just such a great motor and a lot of power from a straight 6. That's impressive.
Yeah, at the time it had the most specific output per litre of any straight 6, you know, at
Really?
that time.
Okay.
Yeah, even more than the S54 BMW engine.
And what's the red line on this?
This is about 7,000.
That is something. Okay, and you got your swirl part up here.
This is actually the dry sump system up the
Oh,
front
the oily.
here.
Okay.
So yeah, this particular the previous V8 engines didn't have the dry sump system, but this
Right.
one did.
Okay.
And part of that, I believe, was actually driven by some of the packaging to try to get everything to fit in terms of the long engine. They had to go to the dry sump to get it down and into the chassis.
I love the fact that it's a dry sump. Very nice. Well, this is very nicely done. Yeah, it's such a shame this company didn't make it. Was this really expensive at the time? What was the competitor to this? Was it McLaren and Ferrari, or
Yeah,
was
it's
it
like the
Corvette?
Porsches of the era,
Yeah.
really, and those kind of sports cars. It was very competitively priced, relatively speaking, and
Yeah.
you definitely got a lot more bang for your buck.
Because I know the English like to buy the homegrown stuff, which, especially that you had your own motor. And I remember reading the road tests and said, I wish we could get that here in America. I mean, it was fast, it was impressive, it was lightweight. I don't know why it didn't succeed. What do you think the problem was?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the company at the time went through some troubles, you know, in the mid-90s, all the different financial issues that were going on in the world. So I think it was a difficult economic climate time for the business.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's about the time of the F1 McLaren. That was not successful either. And you couldn't get a better car than that, but to convince people, they were $800,000 at the time, which was unheard of. And you know, there were so many failed sports cars prior to that. You had the Jaguar with it was going to have a V12, then they went to a V6, and then it went to four-wheel drive. Then you had stuff like the Vector, another kind of failed sports car. Yeah, then when the McLaren came out, it was twice as expensive as any of those, and people, well, how good could it be? It's really a shame. Because you realize the 90s were a long time ago.
Right.
I remember watching in America, the TV show called 60 Minutes, and Morley Safer went to the Lamborghini factory to look at the Countach. And he says, oh, and if you buy one of these, they're $100,000, which is gets you a Honda Civic now, for, you know. But at the time, that was like crazy money.
Yeah.
And then the McLaren was $800,000. Wow, how good could it be? Well, we didn't really know how good it could be until some of the real journalists got hold of it who could really drive, and then it went crazy. But by that time, they're out of business. And I suppose this suffered from the same fate. Yeah, but it's great that they managed to get 1,600 out the door, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think they were quite uncompromising from an engineering perspective. I mean, you allude to their passion for doing their own engines, which is obviously expensive to do that. Very uncompromising to maximize performance and maximize the driving experience, which is great for us now.
Yeah.
Because these cars are here for us to enjoy.
And then
but at the time, it was difficult for them.
When Peter Wheeler, did he sell out? I remember a Russian gentleman bought the factory.
Yes, yeah.
And did he continue this with this motor, or did he change?
Yeah, they tried to. There was a Mark II version of this, sort of back towards the end of the production run, and they did try to continue on. There was some different experimental projects and things that were put together on a Mark III version. But unfortunately, yeah, the company, didn't continue on, so we never saw the third generation of this come to fruition.
There's so many wonderful English cars that come out of sheds and barns, projects that people work on. It's really fascinating. I have one of those. I have the Rocket, that little car built by Gordon Murray. That was his first car before the F1, and just a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But it was expensive. It cost as much as a Porsche.
Right.
And you go, how do you convince the wife? Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. Well, I'm glad these survived, and they're coming to America, so they can contact you if they want one of these.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Well, let's meet the gentleman who owns this car, and you haven't taken delivery yet, have you?
Hey, Jay. No, I have not taken delivery of it yet. So,
This is Mike Welling. And you're like me, you buy cars sight unseen. Yeah. I always tell people, never buy a car you haven't looked at. And of course I always buy a car, because it's always the only one, and you're not going to find another one. And it doesn't seem like you can get a better example than this. It's 2001, so it's got a few updates in it. And you live here in the States?
I live in the States. I live in Florida. I bought the car through the guys at TVR Garage. And yeah, look, I've had probably a love affair with the TVR. Goes back probably 25 years, but it's really only come out into the open in the last couple of years. So this is actually my second Tuscan.
Oh, it is?
I bought one in the UK. Terrible decision.
Why? What happened?
Well, I bought this car pretty much sight unseen because they just looked so good.
Right.
Anyway, I took it to kind of the partner actually that TVR Garage worked with, Straight Six in the UK. He went through it. And once you kind of got underneath it, the car was just in all sorts of trouble. So I decided to do it the right way and just kind of get a car that's just really been gone through. And this is just a great example of that.
And what happened to that one?
I sold it.
Oh, you sold it?
I sold it, yeah.
Pass it on.
And I sold it for a bit less than I bought it for, Jay, so not overly happy.
So you pass it on to the next guy.
Exactly.
And do you ever hear from him? Has he tried to track you down and shoot you or anything? Or?
They're actually doing a complete restoration on it right now.
Oh,
so,
okay. Now you sold it, you see.
It was a beautiful color as well, but I'm very happy with this one.
Did that have the Speed 6 motor? And
Speed 6 again, yeah.
the exact same car, pretty much.
It wasn't the S, so it was a slightly earlier one than this, but it was in a beautiful crystal verde green color, which probably attracted me. But I did the ultimate terrible thing. I went to view the car in the pouring rain and I bought it. And I did.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I made all the classic mistakes that day.
Well, anytime you look at a car in England, it's pouring rain.
Yeah, well,
so
it's not
like you have to wait 6 months to see it not raining.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, I love that. It just makes me laugh. And were there any other cars that tempted you as much as these, or is this the one that just knocked your socks off?
Well, look, I bought a TVR Cerbera actually about a year ago. And actually, look, I hadn't seen these cars for some time. I've been living in the States for 15 years, and I saw one again, and it invoked this feeling, and I thought, I need to find out more, and it just, So I bought a Cerbera last year through TVR Garage, which was great. And then when I saw this and kind of started understanding a little bit more about the mark, I just had to have one. So
yeah, you have to have one. That's right.
That's how I told my wife. Of course, right?
Yeah. And of course, she thinks you paid half of what you paid for it, so that's fine too.
It wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough.
Yeah. No, I'm honey. Well, that's why I go home and I go, no, you remember I just painted it. You remember this one? So that's the way you kind of get around.
You try.
Is this new? No, honey. This is the other one I had. I just cleaned it up. That's very funny. That's very funny. So there are no other cars that tempted you when you came here? No Corvettes or anything of that nature, right?
Well, it's it's not my only one in the collection, put it that way. But I've got a few. But I just what I love about the TVR is it's a little unique over here.
Right.
I mean, they weren't a big production run anyway.
Well, it's unique over there.
It's unique over there. And actually to find a sorted one, which is just because they look so good. You know, you make that mistake and you think because the fiberglass stands the test of time, they look great. But the reality is you've got to get one that, you know, I mean, the build quality maybe wasn't the best when it came out of the factory, and so I think you've got to get one that's really been through.
Well, I just like that English thing of pushing a car out of a shed when it's done. You know, you always see those, whether it's Goodwood or whether it's, there's always guys pushing some sort of English car out of a shed, and whether it's a BRM 16 or whatever. Yeah, it's just very funny, and of course the fact that they developed their own engine. And who did, it's not Cosworth or anything. Who did this motor? They did it all done in-house.
It was all in-house, yeah. It said Al Melling and his business helped support the design and development. And then together with John Ravenscroft and Peter Wheeler, which is the AJP in the engines, naming, they took it and developed it. And this was the first car that the Speed 6 went into, and then it went on into the other models that are going to be coming down the line.
It's so hard to find engineers that are also good businessmen. You're just committed to one of the, you're either a businessman or you're an engineer. To try and do both, because there's been so many great cars that come out, and they fail not because anything inherently wrong with the car. They did just something, some business decision they weren't involved. They didn't do the right testing or whatever it might be. So, well, now you have it here in the States. I wish we could get this in California. Maybe we might be able to soon, but we'll see. We'll see. But how many are in the States now?
Of this particular sort of Tuscan model, we think there's around 3, maybe 4. So very few. This is the only S that's in the country at the moment. As we go through sort of final shakedown and engineering development work to make sure it's good in hot climates and elevation and all those things. But yeah, they're pretty few and far between.
Yeah.
So.
You know, it's funny. I have a Tatra T87. And I got one in the English magazine. It said, join the Tatra T87 Club, spare scheme, newsletter, Christmas party. Oh, I called the guy now, I want to join. Oh, great. That's wonderful, thank you for joining. And I said, you got a Christmas party? I don't know if I could ever make that. I said, how many people in the club? And he said, with you now, 4. And I thought, oh, 4? Well, it must be a hell of a Christmas party with you when you all get together. But he was just, I mean, with a straight face. With you now, that makes 4. You know, oh, well, thank you very much. It's good. So you two can get together with the other Tuscan owners and have it in your garage. Yeah. But I think it's just great, and it's got to be a wonderful conversation piece when you pull into a Cars and Coffee, because nobody has these, and it's a real car. That's what I love. It's not going on some phony reputation. It's got its own bespoke motor, which I can't emphasize how important that is and how cool that is. Very nice. 4-wheel discs, just standard Brembos or what?
AP, yeah, AP brakes.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, well, very good.
Standard on all the vehicles in the range.
Yeah, yeah. Can you carry this with you when you take it off?
Yeah. This removes and goes into the trunk space. So.
Oh, that's what I say. I drove the Ferrari SP3 the other day, and even that you can't do that. So,
right.
Yeah, so you get more. And 2,300 pounds, boy, it must be incredibly fast.
Yeah, they're pretty quick. They're 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds, a little bit under.
Have you driven it yet?
I drove it here.
Oh, okay.
And very strong this morning. So,
yeah. Oh, great. That's great. And you can drive this in Florida, which is nice.
And this is about 1,000 miles, I think, on this engine rebuild.
Yeah, it's just running really. So, yeah, it's just a.
How many miles on it when you got it before the rebuild?
This particular car done about, I think, about 24,000. So,
that's nothing.
So not much.
Didn't need much, probably, yeah.
It still needed a fair bit of love, but it's still 25 years old, and
it is, isn't it? It's, you know, it looks contemporary. That's what's fun about this.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an 80s, 90s, or even a 2000. It looks like you could produce it today and you'd be fine.
Stands the test of time, I always think.
Yeah. And how many cars did they build on the second go-around when the Russian gentleman owned the car?
In terms of the Tuscan itself?
Well, just TVR.
Oh, well, TVR in total, I think in the kind of Peter Wheeler into that time was about, I think, 15,000 vehicles in total.
Wow.
A lot of that came from the Chimera, and there was about 1,400 Cerbras, 1,600 of these, and then they really tail off as you get to the back end of the time of the company with the T350s.
And what was the other
TVRs.
TVR engine they had besides the Speed 6?
So the first in-house developed was the AJP V8, which was the one that we had on the show with the Cerbera.
Right.
So they then went from it was mainly for emissions purposes, went from the V8 to the straight six. There was a lot of experimentation. I believe they did some experimentation with a V6 built from the V8.
Right.
But I think Peter was quite keen to make sure he had some design philosophy from the old Jags and that era of straight six engines, and the packaging kind of worked. So they went down the straight six route.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, the fact that they really put their heart and soul in it. It was really built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts.
Right.
You know, it's not a quick scheme where you bang it out and it looks good and you make some money and yeah, very nice. You got a proper trunk.
Yeah, big trunk.
Yeah.
You're a golfer. It's
yeah, there's a lot of space down here. So normal TVR quirk, we got a button under here.
Okay.
for the trunk. And yeah, get
Look at that.
a lot of space in there. Get a couple of bodies in there, Joe.
Yeah, you could put Joe Pesci in there, no problem. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Well, very good. Can we take it for a ride?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, let's do it.
Love to.
Even the way you get in this car is unusual. You got to press under here. Oh, there you are. Oh, there we go.
It's a little delay.
Have to wait a second there. Very nice. Cool. Well, I suppose we'll have to leave you here.
Have fun,
I
guys.
don't know. We can squeeze him in the back.
Squeeze him in the back, yeah. Actually, you can put him in that trunk, probably.
They did say.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a shot. I'd say they're in the 90s, the Pioneer.
You know it, yeah. These are all very quirky little.
Yeah, you know, that's what I like about it.
My kind of love affair with these started when a sales manager of mine, he bought a Cerbera, and I came out of the building one day and there was this purple car and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, what is that?
And this is in England.
This is in England, yeah, and this woman of a certain age was kind of stood next to me. She, oh my God, that thing's awful.
Oh, she thought it was awful?
She thought it was awful, so I kind of had that immediate negative connotation a bit with it. But
well, that's the kind of thing with the Countach. When I drive it, I get that look like, how old are you? You know, from women. But they drive an XKE and they fall in love.
I fall in love.
Wow, this got some real power.
It does, doesn't it? It pulls really strong.
You know, we've reached the level now where power to weight, people think a light car is 3,000 pounds now. You know, I've got a 26R Lotus over there that's 1,300 pounds, and with 225 horsepower, and it screams. And people forget what a really light car is like. Like this is really like 2,300 pounds. That's crazy.
Nothing, really, is it?
This weighs exactly the same as the F1 McLaren. That's what that is, 2295 or something like that.
I think the Cerbera is even less.
Yeah. Well, it's a 4-cylinder, isn't it?
It's a V8.
Oh, it's a V8. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah. It's a proper car, right?
It's a proper car. That is the best way of putting it.
You know, horsepower cures a lot of problems. And even though I've only been in it for a minute or two, the rigidity comes through. You know, a lot of times you drive fiberglass cars and there's a bit of a shudder, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's kind of moving around.
Well, don't forget, this is about 1,000 miles plus on the, most of, a lot of work's been done on this, so.
And this has a chassis, does it, right? It's not a...
Yeah.
I like body on chassis, just makes things easier.
I mean, you feel it, it's nice, it's very nice. Connected.
It's like the old days of technology are better than the first days of new technology because they've got it down, they've got it sorted. Some things give away, like the Pioneer.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's like when you get a Countach that has the Kenwood, like, oh, like that. That's...
Yeah, we don't hear those names so much these days, do you?
No.
I love it. I mean, I kind of, you know, I mean, it's just a little bit quirky, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, well, just to have something that's so different. That's what's fun about my garage. Some of them, the transmission, the shifting pattern is backwards. First is where fourth is. You know, R is below D. You know, hilarious. And this just has, you know, it makes me feel like it's a French car, because the French just deliberately make everything quirky. You know, when everybody else is 6mm, 8mm, 10mm, the French are 5mm, 7mm, 9mm, you know, all that kind of.
Always got to be a little different.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
And in Florida, you don't see anybody driving on this side, unless they're driving an old Rolls Royce from the 50s.
Although, believe it or not, there is a guy who has got, I've got a Cerbera.
Yeah.
He's got a silver one. He's just got a Mark II version of it, which I just cannot believe. I don't know how many of them in the US there are, but yeah. Yeah, this comes off. This is nice when the sun's...
Look nice and secure, yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to roll in it, but you know.
There's no air conditioning, right?
No, there is.
Oh, this has air? Wow.
This has air, yeah. Is it on? Let's put it on.
That's like British air conditioning.
Of course.
When I bought my F1 McLaren, they said you have air conditioning, but if you want good air conditioning, it's another $25,000. Why would I not want good air conditioning? Who orders just substandard air conditioning? You know, it just made me laugh.
You can only imagine in Florida.
Oh yeah, oh God.
Yeah.
You think that company will ever come back?
Well, they're supposed to, you know, I mean, they're supposed to be kind of doing a reimagined Griffith, but it's been about 5 years in the works, and I don't know, I don't see it coming. So
I remember the first gen Griffiths with the 289 Ford.
Yeah.
And they're just the craziest car. You got to point it straight ahead, you nail it, it would do a donut, you know, the short wheelbase. I mean, it's got real power. I mean, it's fantastic. And it revs very nicely, very smooth. Doesn't feel like it's, you know, a lot of times you put big V8s in, there's a sense of
just shaking around,
harshness and vibration. And what do these cost new?
That's a good question. I would have probably said back in the day, these were, I don't know, £50,000, let's say 60,000 US,
right, yeah,
65.
And even in the 90s, they didn't market it for US market right now. It was
no. Although TVR was, you know, they had some marks in the 70s.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
The Peter Wheeler years, I think, which was pretty much through the 90s, where, you know, there were a lot of the famous kind of editions, like this one particular. Would have been nice if they'd survived. I mean, 1,500 of these. I mean, the Cigaras, which was a later edition, they only made 200 of that. They're not eligible for import right now.
You know, I got plenty of room. It's comfortable. I love that even the pedals aren't offset, you know. So many cars of this era, you're always sitting this way, you know.
I think Wheeler was a big guy, so he always wanted to build a car that was, I think he was 6'2" or 3.
Yeah.
So he wanted a car that he felt comfortable in. But yeah, there's good leg room here, isn't there?
Those turn signals?
Turn signals, yeah. Nothing's labeled.
You know, there was a time when I liked that, when you bought an early Lamborghini. Only the owner knew whatever you did, you know. But then you get a couple of different cars and go, what does this do again?
Like I said, every time you get in it, you gotta reacquaint yourself. What does it do? How do you know? Hey, look at this old ashtray.
Yeah. Is that an ashtray? That's hilarious.
Cigarette lighter here.
Oh yeah, I mean, very good. Lusty, as the English would say.
Lusty, puts a smile on your face, pace, I'd
It
say,
really
Jay.
does.
Yeah.
It really does. There's just an inherent smoothness to a 6-cylinder engine.
I love the gearbox as well in this.
Yeah.
Very short.
Because in England, a straight 6 is kind of like what a V8 was in America. It was the big block. Most people had 1.5 liter or 1 liter cars, you know, and all of a sudden you had 3, 4, 5 liter cars. And that's a shift light as well, eh? Because it's blocked by the steering wheel, but that's all
Of course,
right.
yeah, you know. No one thought about that.
I got to get one of these. This is a great car. Just oddball, quirky enough.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. You know.
But it's funny because it scares off everybody except the real enthusiasts. So the people that buy this know exactly what they're getting. You know. I remember when the rotary Mazda came out with the rotary engine, it said in the manual, just check the oil every second fill up. Just check it. I'm not doing that's crazy. People just rebelled against it. Check the oil. How long does that take? You know. But in this, you have to remove the hood to check.
I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just.
You know, so many times British cars are about handling and not power. American cars like power over handling, but this has both. It's a tremendous amount of power. And it handles very well as well. I mean, it's really good.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's fabulous. I think it's just great. It's a shame the company didn't make it. I don't know why they didn't make it. It's so funny how Morgan continues to live through everything. Everybody else falls by the wayside.
Well, they were taken over by a Russian, I think, in 2005.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to make some of the build quality a little bit better, but I don't really know what the demise of the company eventually was. But
yeah, I mean, it's very well sorted. I really expect a lot of clang, bang, rattling. It's good.
You know, I'll give kudos to the TVR garage guys because, you know, it's exactly their business model. These cars come in, they're sorted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want this car coming from the UK where you don't have the parts here and, you know.
And where's the garage? Is it Florida?
Mine or theirs?
Not theirs.
Oh, I think they're in Arizona and...
yeah, I thought I remember Arizona.
What mileage does it say? What speed now? 29?
29.
Yeah. They were never accurate.
That's my favorite English phrase. They all do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's 25-year-old, you know, technology from England, so it's... Take it for what it is. You know, mechanically, she's great, but she's still got electronics from, you know, 25 years ago. So,
you know, it's very comfortable. I would say it's probably, it feels like a Corvette from the same period. You know, obviously it's not as tight as a Mercedes or something, but it's very, very good. Because fiberglass cars can be a little tricky, but and it's 2,300 pounds. It's unbelievable. Brakes are quite good as well.
yeah, you kind of want them to be.
Yeah, and it's just mechanical enough so you could probably fix it yourself.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I'd say it's more difficult getting the hood off.
Yeah, the hood is funny. That makes me laugh.
And then you've got the battery down here in the kind of left wheel arch, which if the battery's flat, you've got to take the wheel off. That's what makes it a TVR, Jay.
Right. You bond with the car, you see.
I think you have to. You have to accept it for all of its foibles, right?
Whenever you're having a bad day, just put your foot in it. And all your problems disappear.
I got a smile on my face. I can't stop.
Yeah. Obviously, the speedometer, that was 50 miles, way more than 50 miles an hour. Yeah. Have you talked with other U.S. TVR owners?
There's quite a tight little club actually in the US. It's kind of online, but you know, they share pictures and stuff. It's hard to get a meet together with the distance, but maybe that'll change as kind of more of them come in. I always find TVR club members are always very willing to help you out with knowledge. Something's gone wrong and you don't quite know how to do it. But
And where in England were they built?
in Blackpool.
Oh, Blackpool, that's right. Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
The factory recently was just knocked down.
Oh, that's too bad.
That was a real shame. And the TVR stood for Trevor, who was the founder of it.
Right. Well, congratulations on being in the TVR club. I think you made a wise choice.
Thank you very much.
I think this is as much fun as any new car you could buy. Ample horsepower, more than you need. Not that that's ever possible, but it's just a wonderful car to drive, handles nice, and it's amazing how taking away weight just adds horsepower. You know, I would say this is the equivalent of a car with 575 horsepower if it was a 3,000 pound car.
Yeah.
But it's a 2,300 pound car. I mean, think about it, you're hauling around 1,000 pounds less than you would on what was also considered a light car, 3,200 or 3,300 pounds. You know, so that's really, Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate this. Thanks for bringing it by. It's always a thrill to be able to drive one of these. I really enjoy it. And oh yeah, it's a highlight of my day. So congratulations on buying a car sight unseen in the rain. I think that's a proper way to do it.
It's the only way. Wow.
Well, you know, but when you're buying cars from enthusiasts, it doesn't seem like that much of a chance, you know. Mike, once again, thanks for bringing this, and thanks TVR Engineering, TVR Garage for keeping these things on the road. It's really great. So.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah. Let us know next time you're out in California.
I will do. I'll look you up.
There you go. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this bit of English history. It's probably a car you've never heard about or seen before, and that's what makes it fun. So if you ever get a chance to go for riding one of these, take it, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. See you guys next week.